Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much. Hope you're having an amazing day. Let's go and take a quick look here at Iotx or Iotex, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely taking off. We'll see what's going on here, of course, with some predictions, but more importantly, some good old-fashioned TA. And before we do, just note, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. If you are new to the channel, I love trading and I really love teaching people how to trade. That's my goal, that's my purpose. So I hope you find benefit here today. And if you benefit from a trading companion, so to speak, I actually share every single trade that I take with my members through a signal. Actually, I send out signals for every single trade that I take, and it's a really awesome experience. But more importantly, it's a trading community. Everyone's learning and growing together. So check that out in your own time. It's referred to as CryptoCache Premium. You can find me on Patreon. Now, IOTX. Wow, this is pretty big time here, right? Obviously, it's done some things in the past. Solid consolidation followed by another increase. It is very interesting how it performs. So let's see what's going on. Obviously, the moving averages, very simple, straightforward. Price was trending above the 50-day simple moving average for the last few weeks. Moving on, RSI is up over 70. I would normally be concerned with that, but this one does have a tendency of continuing for 2 or 3 days before it retraces. So there's a chance we might still see some further movement. We'll take a look at TD sequential, kind of see what's going on. But generally speaking here, we are in pretty good shape, all things considered. Normally RSI, you want to kind of wait for the RSI to come back down before you exit your position. That's the general rule of thumb there. Keep in mind though, a lot of times RSI over 70 on bull runs will effectively stay over 70 for a long time. And it works as a support level sometimes. Again, depends on bullish momentous trends, right? In this case, this is not much of a trend. This is just a blast off to space, and we got to just hope and pray it doesn't come back down, right? Well, I got news for you. It has a tendency of doing that, right? Every single increase has been followed by a significant rate trace. So, don't be, I wouldn't say ignorant, whatever the term is, don't be stubborn, I guess you could say, and just hold on until it gets to some crazy top out point, because the likelihood of that is less, right? As prices go up, your odds of 10x, 20x, whatever that case is, goes down because of just pure numbers, right? That's just the way it goes. Anyways, that being said, the first pump last time, whenever that was upwards of 530% over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And now we're at about maybe just say 3 days in. So at best, in my personal opinion, just based on sheer numbers on the 1-day chart, what I can see right now, we may have one more day, one more leg up before it retraces back down. Keep this in mind too. Retracements are often 50%, right? So we take a look at this guy here and go all the way down. Like we're looking at this 50% mark, almost 60% in that previous case, whereas we actually have this significant retracement, right? So what goes up must come down. If we're going to do the same exact thing here, which we can take a look at in a smaller time frame, we'll notice right away that right around halfway here will likely be the consolidation point. Now keep this in mind too. It's testing the all-time high, so we'll go ahead and see what's going on. Why don't we just go ahead and jump into the charts a little bit further, and then we can speculate better. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 16 hours-ish into this trend. Let's go ahead and pull up Fibonacci and kind of see what's going on here. We can see a nice little support channel there, and obviously some other potential support. So we'll go ahead and mark those here in a moment. But what I want to look at first of all is, well, we had a golden cross here, but it's not very strong. I mean, I guess it could have been technically, considering the fact that it was a big increase. But looking at here, you can see the golden cross comes up just before it takes off. So I think that's honestly pure luck. I mean, you look back here, the death cross, nothing really happened. So I don't really think it has anything to do with it, but that is a factor, I guess you could say. Looking at the RSI, again, nothing really matters at this point. The traditional indicators, when the price goes up this fast, you really can't rely on them. All you can really do is draw out some Fibonacci retracement lines and kind of see what TD sequential is telling us, right? Let's go to the 1 hour. This is my favorite time frame for TD sequential, just because it's the most consistent. And we can kind of see here, we're at a 5 right now for TD sequential. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have 4 hours left of bullish momentum. That does imply that we could, right? We may even get further with it when you think about it. But if we take a look here, just so you know, we got 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, 5. Comes up, goes up to an 8, right? Because this candlestick is technically higher than the 4th previous. And then it resets and starts counting up again. So it effectively had a, 4 or 5 hour consolidation period before it ramps up again. That's all well and good, don't get me wrong. That's a nice enough staircase pattern for the moment, right? However, that doesn't mean it's going to last forever. Best case, in my personal opinion, just based on how overextended it is, we could see another leg up here to about 18 cents, and it might cap off right around there. But I've been proven wrong many times with these type of increases, just based on the sheer fact that they kind of defy the laws of trading, right? You know, there's like this natural gravity of trading, and this is really kind of just overlooking that, for lack of better terms. But I do like the fact that there's a consolidation period here. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark some major support and resistance levels, and then we'll just go ahead and take a look at the future there. See what's going on in our bright little future here for Iotx. All right, let's go ahead and draw that. And by the way, too, these aren't just numbers I'm pulling out of a hat, right? These are Fibonacci retracement lines. They are very reliable in most cases. And what I'll do is I'll make sure we draw out some support levels too, because I have a feeling it will eventually come down. So based on this current scenario, we can see that there's potential if the price were to come down, just say to halfway point, 0.5. That's this guy right here. So 11.5 cents is, I believe, a very strong likelihood eventually. The previous time it came down even to the lower one. It came down to 0.382, which essentially was a significantly larger retrace. Granted, it was up 500% in 4 days, but it's still almost similar to this, very similar. All right, so we're gonna just go ahead and have somewhat of a messy chart here with quite a few lines, but they do and will serve a purpose eventually. So we'll just go ahead and put that out here. Okay. Now, as far as prediction is concerned, let's kind of get this out of the way. I mean, big picture, there's a strong chance we will see and could see the price jump upwards of about 26 cents. That would be more of a better case scenario. Keep in mind, it hasn't officially broken its all-time high yet. And I say officially, I just mean that this is the all-time high here, right? This line right here. Technically, it's above that right now, but this one-day candlestick hasn't closed yet. You see that's kind of getting stopped out. If it closes below this line, then we can consider that a very strong resistance, and we can definitely expect the price to start retracing, or if nothing else, consolidating sideways near the resistance level to eventually break out in an ascending wedge pattern. That happens a lot too. But again, this has a history of pumping. I wouldn't necessarily say dumping, right? But that is a significant retracement, right? But that's pretty normal. That's very standard. So try not to overwhelm yourself with that thought. But I can tell you that unless this candlestick closes above this right here, and again, it's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, whatever time that is for you, candlestick closes, it has to reset every 24 hours. Normally there's like a traditional, open pre-market, post-market close on a traditional trading, but, crypto essentially just rolls 24 hours a day, which is beautiful. But it does have some drawbacks. But regardless of that, sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but let's just go ahead and summarize. Yeah, so 26 cents would be a best case scenario. That would be, I would say, if this were just to continue to pump with no thoughts of tomorrow, right? Just continues to go up, and no regard of how far it might come down. We're going to see that as a potential. Is it likely, in my personal opinion? I don't think so, because we still have a couple more hours, or just say a few more hours left on TD sequential for this bull run. But truth be told, this last increase that was 500%, it maxed out in 2 days. The fourth day was almost a red candle, and then it came back down. Also keep in mind too, there's a thing referred to as 3 white soldiers, which is a trading pattern basically with 3 candlesticks in a row where you have 3 significantly large candlesticks. The fourth candlestick is always red. If you look back here, 1, 2, 3, red candlestick. So hypothetically, again, based on that premise, we have 2 large candlesticks. There could be 1 more large candlestick up to right around, why don't we go ahead and mark that, let's say, because 1.414 is a pretty consistent resistance level I've noticed. That could be the max. So let's also go ahead and mark 1.272. So somewhere around 18 to 19 cents, we could very well see that last push, if you will. And then it will be followed by a retracement, almost a guarantee, because those 3 white soldiers have a tendency of coming to fruition more often than not. Bitcoin did that on the weekly chart recently, which is why we saw that retracement / consolidation. We're seeing that right now, as a matter of fact, but it had literally 21 days of consistent bullish momentum from 40,000 to 64 or 67 rather. Yeah, so I mean it's definitely a thing. So my speculation, we might see one more candlestick, which puts us at roughly 24 to 48 hours more worth of continuous momentum. And if it were to come up that far, again, 26 cents is a best case, but you bet your butt if it comes up in the 20 cent range, anything over 20 cents, you can expect it to come crashing down. Okay, Don't get greedy. Set some targets. Set your profit targets now if you haven't already. If you're jumping in now, set a stop loss somewhere in the range of what? Somewhere between 12 and 14 cents. Just to be on the safe side. If it comes down, you don't lose your shirt. You only lose like a sleeve or something, right? 6 to 12%. It's not that terrible when you have a potential gain of what? That would be somewhere in the range of about 70%. Okay. So again, I think the odds are in your favor with Iotx right now, but I still don't love how high it is right now. I think that there's a good chance we might see retracement soon. So just be mindful of that. Be cautious. Be careful. If this one-day candlestick closes above the support level, though, the previous all-time high, then there's a great chance we will see that one more leg up, that very last white soldier. So if you found benefit here, like and subscribe. I really hope that you do. Of course, I try to educate as best as possible. I also educate as much as I can in my trading community. Check that out as well. I send out signals for every single trade that I take. It's up to you if you want to follow them or not, but we do have a trading bot that allows you to one-click follow. It's pretty awesome. So check that out, of course, but thank you so much for joining me here. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.